Hi everybody. This tutorial is for users new to Moodle and assumes that you have already created your own Moodle shell. If you haven't, you can go to our school division Moodle server and you'll see right at the top a number of items on the menu bar. One of them is called Moodle support. Just go ahead and click that link and you'll see two links that you should probably print off immediately. One is getting started for teachers and one is getting started for students. Obviously the teacher version is how to set up your Moodle class, and the student version is for students in terms of how to get into it. Once you have created your Moodle class and go to visit it for the first time, you'll see a shell that looks more or less like this. You'll see a number of numbered boxes with this weird looking square on the one side. You'll see a number of items in the columns, including a settings bar, which you can see right here, as well as a navigation panel and a few other default boxes on the side. As we progress through this tutorial, you'll hear me refer to these numbered boxes in the middle as topics, and you'll hear me refer to these boxes on the side as blocks. The first thing you want to do whenever you create your first Moodle shell is to actually reduce the number of topics to the number of topics you'd like to appear in your course. It is expandable. You can change this. You're not married to this decision right away. But it can sometimes just reduce the amount of clutter on your screen by getting rid of a few. So, for example, in this particular course that I'm building, I would like 4 main topics. So what I'm going to do is go to my Edit Settings box right here, which is on the Settings panel, or Settings block. And you'll see a pile of information, including the course full name and short name that I created when I requested the course. You can change that at any point. But if I scroll down, you'll see a box here that says the number of weeks or topics, and the default is set to 10. I'm going to just change that and reduce that to 4. And now I'm going to scroll to the bottom and press Save. And by changing the number of default topics to 4, you see now that I've got only 4 boxes showing up on this main screen. Another important first step to really get a personal sense into this online course is to change my default look and feel. So as you can see, the look of this has the typical bubbly theme that you see from the opening Moodle space. However, I want to have something a bit more friendly, so I'm going to click on Edit Settings again. And again, I'm going to scroll down in this section. You'll see where my number of weeks and topics was changed to 4. But you'll see another box here that says Force Theme. A theme is the basic look and feel of the course, and I have a number of themes that I can choose between. I'm going to just go ahead and pick this brick theme. I think it looks very nice, so I'm going to click on that. And there's lots of different ones you can choose between. Once I've selected that, again, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and press Save Changes. Immediately you'll see that the look and feel of the Moodle course has changed. You'll see that the topic numbers are still there. There's still 4 topics. But now we have kind of this goldish brown layout. And you'll notice that all of my blocks are now in a single column with the settings panel at the bottom. Some themes have blocks on either side. Some themes have multiple blocks on one side. This theme, as you can see, only has a single column of blocks on the right-hand side. If I don't like that, I can just go right down here and choose Edit Settings again. And I can choose a different theme again, such as one of my favorites, which is the creative theme. There we go. And again, I'll scroll to the bottom. And you'll see that the look and feel changes once again, but I have this nice flowery background. Again, just one column's worth of blocks. But again, the content hasn't changed at all. So now let's start adding some content. If you look up on the right-hand side, you'll see a button that says Turn Editing On. This is the most important button to know about in Moodle. This is how I add anything to Moodle, whether I want to put a new block on the side or if I want to add some content to the main page. You'll notice that once I click that button, I get an Add Resource and Add Activity box for each and every topic. The only difference between them is where the content appears when I create it. The easiest way to tell these two drop-downs apart is Add a Resource includes those items which students will just download. So example, a book, a file, a folder, a content package you might download from a website, a label, which is content that just appears on the main Moodle page, a web page, a tab display, and a link. Likewise, the activities are those things that the students will interact with. So those would include, for example, assignments, online chats, checklists, discussion forums, a journal, blog, so on and so forth. And to add any one of those content pieces, all I need to do is select it and fill out the form that appears. So for example, let's say in topic 1, which is this box right here, that I want to add a discussion forum. Because discussion forums are those things that students interact with, I'm going to click on the activity box and you'll see the forum sitting right here. Once I click on that, the page immediately changes to a form, and you can see that that form says adding a new forum topic or to topic 1. Each one of these things has a name and an introduction or description. So I'm going to just go ahead and type the forum name. So this might be talking about important stuff. And maybe for the introduction I might please take a moment to share your thoughts about stuff. Displaying description on the course page, I'm not going to bother. If I were to check that off, then directly above the link would be this text. Please take a moment to share your thoughts about stuff. Subscription mode, I'll leave that as optional. That's whether or not I want students to receive an email every time somebody posts to that discussion. In fact, for the most part with this, I can leave all of this set to default. There's tons and tons of options. If at any point I'd like to know what one of these options are, I can just go ahead and press this little question mark, and you get a little box that pops up that tells you a little bit about what this does. So for example, time period for blocking. It says time period for blocking. Students can be blocked from posting more than a given number of posts in a given time period. Users with the capability giving complex permissions are exempt from post limits. And you can feel free to just click those boxes anytime, and they're very good in terms of explaining how different aspects of Moodle work. So once I do, I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm just going to go save and return to course. And you know that it worked because if I scroll up now, you'll see under topic 1 is a discussion forum called Talking About Important Stuff. And I or my students, when time comes, can just go ahead and click on that, and it takes me directly to that discussion forum, complete with the title that I popped in there. You can see that I or my students can add a new discussion topic, and there I go. Cool, I like stuff and I would like to receive email copies of posts. If I just press add here, I can add a file to that if I choose to, or I can just press post to forum. It gives me a warning to say that it's going to be done, or I've only got an hour to edit that before it becomes permanent, and you can see now that it shows up in the discussion. To get back to my main page, I just need to go back up to the top, and you can see here's the breadcrumbs that say here's where I'm at. So I'll go back to my DS1 course, and you can see I'm back on the main page. Likewise, if I want to add some content, I can just add a resource here. I might add a file. That file might be called do this, and the description might be a smiley face, and here's where I get to add the file. So I'm just going to, under content, click add. My add box appears, and most often you'll just be choosing upload a file. So I'm just going to choose that file. Doesn't really matter what I choose, so I might just do an overview of UBD, and I'll upload it. You can see it appears there, and then if I go to save and return to course, you'll see that it appears there along with the PDF icon. Moodle is intelligent enough to tell the different types of files. And so if I just go ahead and click that button, it immediately takes me to the UBD in a nutshell PDF file, which I can read online. So that in a nutshell is how to begin your setup of a Moodle course. Obviously there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more that you can do, I should say. But in terms of just getting a basic space where you can discuss, that does do a decent piece of explaining how that works. I should add one more piece to this, which is at the top of every topic you can see that there is a pen. If I click that pen, it actually takes me to an edit screen, and this is where I can actually do an introductory message for the topic. So I might actually just say, instead of using the default section name, which is topic 1 right now, I might call this introduction. And as a welcome piece, I might actually go as far as adding a nice picture for students to reflect on or to add some color to my page. So I'm just going to click insert or upload an image. It'll say what would you like to add. If I have a link, I can go ahead and paste it here, or I can just press upload this image. It'll take me back to that add file box. So I'll just go choose a file. And if I happen to have any pictures, I do have a ctp.jpg. I have no idea what that actually is, but we'll find out in a second here. And I can press upload the file, and there you go. You can see I've got a photograph here. I can press insert. Gives me a warning that I didn't add any text to that, but that's okay. You can see it appears in the box here, and I can save the changes. And you see now that that introduction box has a picture at the top. About the only other thing that you need to know to be able to get started in your Moodle is these little icons that appear after every single link you add. The arrow is a tab, so I can actually just click on that arrow and you can see it moves in just a hair. And of course I can move it back by pressing the back arrow. There's a pencil, which is always your universal icon for editing. Some themes that pencil appears as a pencil in a hand. In this one it's just a pencil. ×2, so if I have an item that I want to duplicate, I can press ×2 and I'll get 2 of them so that I can move it elsewhere. The minus sign, or in some themes it's an X, that deletes this item, and you can see when I hover my mouse over it that I get a delete little pop-up that tells me what that does. An eyeball, which allows you to hide this from student view, so if I click this, it's now hidden, students cannot see it. If I click on it again, students can see it. And one very handy tool is this little crosshair tool, and you see my cursor changes when I go over top of it. This allows me to reorganize, so if I decide that this do this activity belongs in topic 2, I can just drag it down here and it appears in that space. Likewise, if I think it should appear before the discussion, I can just click or drag it up here and it moves. As with anything with Moodle, this is just a basic introduction, but if you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout or email me and I'd be happy to respond.